How much money can you make doing stock photography and stock video? And how much time does it take? These are questions you guys have been asking us, and recently we put together a mini series dissecting the photo side and the video side. And today we're gonna talk about comparing those two things combined, as well as is stock a feasible full-time income earner, or is stock more of a hobby type of thing?
We are JD and Kyle. We are professional photographers by day. We like to make weekly videos on how to make more money with your camera.
If you like that kind of content, do not forget to subscribe, and if at any point you find yourself enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already seen part 1 and part 2, you may want to check those out first to get an idea of where we came up with these numbers from. But today we're going to be talking about our photo and our video portfolio side by side, comparing how much time it takes us to complete each task of the stock photography and stock video process. We found some really interesting results in this exercise that we think might be eye-opening for you guys. It was certainly eye-opening for us. So next up, let's compare the time that we spend doing photo versus video. We've got these charts here, and they actually take a look at the different amount of time we spend. Photo is in blue, video is in red, and this is just in hours, the amount of time we spend doing each part of the process. So you can see, validating our concepts, we spend a bit more doing photo than video, but I think that was because we decided, right, you do more of your conceptualizing during that part, and I do mine later. Execution is roughly about the same, so that's cool. Post-production, looks like we're spending considerably more time in video post-production, or sorry, photo post-production than video. Why do you think that is?
Maybe I've done more.
Have you done more?
I mean, as far as like finished number of things and stuff.
I think you have. I think that's true.
And I haven't done anything in several months, but when I was doing it, I did a lot.
Yeah, because photo, you edited 800 images. So with photo, you've done a good chunk more photo editing than I've done video editing. So that makes sense too, why that would be so much higher.
And same thing with keywording as well.
Yeah, keywording. So that's why, and that's about the same difference between post-production and keywording. There's maybe what, like 10 extra hours it looks like between keywording. And then submitting. So you spent significantly more time submitting
with Alamy and Dreams time.
With Alamy and Dreams time. If there were like a black box equivalent for photo, I think it would definitely make sense for you to do it, because your dollars per hour would have to go up at that point.
Yeah.
I did make also another chart. Look at this one. This is the chart where you are not submitting to Alamy and Dreams time.
Okay.
Look at that.
So it evens out.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
And again, that difference is pretty much the same as the keywording and the post-production. If you look at the distance here, I think it's just the difference between the number of photos and the number of videos that we've created so far. I think that's the only reason why. So yeah, looking at both these charts though, the biggest thing is keywording. That is by far both of our biggest time suck in stock photography and video is just keywording. So for me, I'm interested in doing black box, not only for the submittal part. I'm really more interested in doing keywording, because my understanding,
or having them do keywording.
Right, my understanding is that you can also pair up with people on black box, and you can negotiate deals with them to where they'll get X percentage of your video sales in exchange for them doing your keywording. So depending on what that percentage is of my sales, it could be profitable for me to have other people do my keywording. I make a little bit less per video, but still my dollars per hour number goes up because I'm saving time. So taking a look at your photo pie chart, you can see how much percentage-wise, how much time you're spending doing everything. About 3.5% of the time you're spending validating your concepts, 3.4% of the time preparing, 6.4% of the time is executing. That's like nothing.
Taking photos is easy. Taking photos is fast, it's easy, it doesn't take very much time compared to everything else that you need to do.
Post-production, 16.5% of your time. That's still not even, that's not crazy though. What really gets crazy is your keywording and your submitting. Combined, it's consuming about 70% of your time. That's a lot of time for keywording and submitting.
I always thought that like post-production was gonna take a lot of time, and I was trying really hard not to spend too much time in the post-production process.
Right.
Because I knew that I wasn't gonna be making very much off of this. I was trying to get through it as quickly as possible, but the keywording process, and even with that, like I knew that I was newer to keywording, and I thought that I was getting faster at the process, and I probably will continue to time myself as we progress with this and see if my times actually do get faster. The submitting process, I had no idea it was taking that amount of time, but it really makes sense when I think about like Dreams time and Alamy and how I couldn't really batch submit anything. So Alamy we've already pulled the plug on. Dreams time as of right now, I'm still continuing, but during actually like the process of like submitting, I was actually even considering having like a virtual assistant do it, or I'm trying to do it while we're watching TV shows or while I'm like multitasking and doing something else, so it doesn't really feel like work at that point. It's just something that I kind of mindlessly do in the background while I'm trying to do something else.
Okay, fair enough. Let's flip over here really quick to videos. Validating concept, 1% of the time. Preparation, spending roughly 16.4% of the time, and execution is 9.7% of the time. So again, the whole creating the video process doesn't eat up a whole lot of time. Post-production, 17% of the time. All those are pretty evenly distributed. What's really crazy for video is just keywording, is by far eating up the most of my time. I spend almost 45% of my time keywording. So going back to the black box example, if I can negotiate a deal with somebody on black box to do my keywording for me for less than 44% of the sale,
It's absolutely worth it.
may or may not be worth it, but my dollars per hour should go up.
That's true.
I might make less total dollars, but my dollars per hour will rise. So you kind of have to decide for yourself whether or not you want to do that. For me, I think that would be something I'm interested in, because keywording is probably my least favorite part of the process. So if I can get somebody else to do it for me, I probably will. Submitting doesn't take a huge amount of time right now. Submitting is only costing me about 11% of my time. If I submit to a couple extra sites, that might take considerably more time. It might be more worthwhile to do black box at that point as well, just for the submitting part of it. Okay, so right now I'm making about $2.78 per hour doing stock video. So far, you are at about 59 cents per hour, but we are optimistic that that's going to change over time.
It was lower.
Right, when you first started out, it was 0, and it's only been going up since there. And this is one thing we're going to track as time goes on. But we also expect that that number is going to go up, right?
Yeah, and I actually haven't contributed or posted to stock in about 2 or 3 months now. So that's 2 or 3 months of me not doing anything, and still money is coming in from that. So that is adding to the total amount that I've generated from all the hard work that I've put in. So 59 cents an hour right now is abysmal. That's not great. You can't live off of that.
No.
But that number theoretically should actually be rising and going up over time, as long as I'm not really lifting a finger to do more work and more money is coming in at that point.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, and I'm really curious to see if our dollars per hour will rise over time, or if it'll just kind of stagnate and then peter out. As far as dollars per hour, how much we're making and doing stock, full time versus a hobby, we're not making a whole lot of money doing stock. And I think my approach to it has been that this is a hobby. This is not a full-time job. If it were my full-time job, I would be living in a cardboard box. But if I do it here and there, where it's just like a mindless thing that I can do, that it doesn't really take any energy or effort to do, and it's just like a brainless task that I can unplug and do stock for like 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there as a hobby, that's not bad.
From the 130 hours that I have spent doing this specifically for photography and making about 59 cents an hour, this is over the course of 5 or 6 months. I was only actively doing this for maybe like 130 hours within the first like 2 or 3 months, and then I just kind of stopped after that. There is a chance that my dollars per hour will continue to rise as we make more and more sales and I don't do any more work. At the same time, if you're looking to get rich quick, this is not that. If you're wanting to make minimum wage even, it looks like it's going to take a while. Yeah, it looks like it's going to definitely take a while for you to build up your portfolio. And honestly, we don't know if it's ever going to get to that point. Like, we have no idea. This is more of like an experiment for us that we wanted to start and try. The dream of stock photography and stock videography is that you don't have a job, that you can be on the beach, you can be on vacation somewhere, you can be hanging out with your friends, you have a camera, you're just randomly filming and photographing things that are happening, and you could be making money while you're sleeping.
That would be awesome.
That's ideally what the goal is.
Yeah.
But when it comes to doing this as a hobby versus a job, we're at the point right now where definitely the type of money that it's bringing in is much more hobby money that maybe can pay off for a new camera or a new lens or whatnot. So that's kind of where we are at.
So wrapping things up, I hope that this video has been enlightening for you guys. It certainly has been enlightening for us as far as how much money we're making compared to the time we've invested in this. I would also challenge you to, if you haven't already done so, to figure out how much time you're spending with your stock photography or videography versus the amount of money that you're making on it.
And what are your dollar per hours?
Yes, and what are your dollars per hours? Let us know in the comments because we'd like to hear about them.
This particular video today was put together because you guys were asking us, how much time are you spending doing this stock photography and stock video? If you guys have more awesome, amazing questions like that, please post them in the comments below. We're happy to answer them as best we can and even potentially make videos like these from them in the future.
If you enjoy this content, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to learn more about how to make money with your camera, then don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon so you can get notified whenever we post a new video. Until then, thank you for hanging out and we'll see you next time.
We are done.